Hey everyone, as promised, I'm doing the Art Hall Treasure video for you. I wanted to do all of these red dots and upgrade them all in once, but I'm going to have to upgrade to try and trigger a classical scroll pack. Now, unfortunately, when I did this upgrade, I did not get the pop-up. So I wrote customer service. I'm going to find out why I didn't get the pop-up. People say they randomly get it on random activities. So let me know in the comments if you know. I also wrote CS because I want an answer, because the only time I've ever gotten a pop-up is when I run out of double coupons, right? So I would like to know what triggers that pack, because it is a very, very important pack, and let me show you what it looks like. If you do have the coupons, I would suggest you using them on this, because getting the very specific scrolls for what you need is very valuable in itself, because there will be times if you're 100 away, right? If you're only 50 away, that might take you 50 days until you can actually upgrade. And it's just because of the way that it's randomized, the percentages. You have so many scrolls that you can get that it's very hard to upgrade when you're like only 50 away. So what I do is I get those chests, and when I'm around maybe 20 away from doing the next level, I'll use them. And the reason, again, is because you don't know when the next time you will get enough scrolls to be able to upgrade. So I like to just do a focus. So the way that I do my buffs, and this is why you guys see me have so much hoard and so many things undone, is because I like to specialize my focuses and make sure that I know the most efficient way to maximize something, right? So back in the day, I maxed out all the champions, and then Evony came out with the whole hoodwinking of doing level 28 and putting out more champions. So when I was done with champions, that was my first focus and goal. The reason on champions is because number one, you get a lot of free, ways to up level your champion, but number two, it just was a lot cheaper to upgrade to the next level to get a buff. So if I was a free-to-play player, low coiner, mid spender, I probably would want to focus on champions first, because you get that immediate gratification. But number two, you also get a lot of debuffs. And debuffs in this game are like the king of the buffs. So Art Hall pretty much only has the top range buffs, and when I say range, I mean the top 4 tier buffs, and they only have 2 categories of debuffs. But the difference between Art Hall and Champions is that if you're patient and you upgrade those Art Hall treasure scrolls, right? So let's say I chose those scrolls instead of the ruby boxes, my buffs would be over all of those levels, right? So you know that the items and the scrolls that drop are randomized, right? So you are going to struggle a little bit with the randomization, but for the most part, you are upgrading all of those kind of together. So with champion, you might be raising, 5 to 6 levels on a champion, but with Art Hall, depending what level you're at, you might be upgrading all of those, like 12 plus, I think, buffs together. So it will end up actually being a huge buff increase. So the difference, though, between champions and Art Hall treasures is that it is almost impossible to get them without spending money. So even in all of these little types of events, and Alliance monthly card, I believe Challenge gives ruby boxes, like the treasure scrolls are not there. They're not in these high top tier events. Why? I have no idea. They're even putting commemorative coins in BOG. Why can't they be more generous with the Art Hall treasure scrolls? I have no idea. We do get a bi-weekly, I believe. I thought it used to be weekly when you used to get 50 a week or 50 an event, but I guess it's bi-weekly now. So you only get up to 50, and I think that's like around up to 100 a month. So only 100 a month is not going to move the needle very far for you in the Art Hall treasure, unfortunately. So once you get to that point where you're in a good place with your champions, you might want to shift your focus to Art Hall treasures. They're amazing, like really, really chunky buffs, and I'm going to show you, if you're at the level of coining spend, and you're ready to do an upgrade, I'm going to show you where all of the packs have the absolute most art hall treasure scrolls. And I am just showing you guys, like, in all of these events, like in Huns, in BOCs and Challenge, they just do not offer these treasure scrolls. And it's almost like they are more rare than twigs and berries. Is it twigs and berries or twigs and jade? I think it's twigs and jade. And even seal bees crystals, right? Because even the seal bees crystals are coming out with their own like cheaper packs. They have a bunch of events surrounding that. There's places where you can redeem them. Same with twig and jade. They're in the lower packs now, and it's just really hard to find anything with these treasure scrolls. So yeah, you see the ruby boxes here, 50. You see the seal crystals there, but treasure chest scrolls are just nowhere to be found. So these are truly catered to coining upgrades. And so since this is focused on coining upgrades, then I'm going to show you guys the packs that have the most scrolls in them. And I want to give a shout out to my Discord channel, made completely for this YouTube channel. It's also made for people who want to connect with other people in other servers by either recruiting people into your alliance and server, by, you know, checking out other people's, by matchmaking and not ruining your own alliance and server with all the messy, crazy breakups and relationships and civil wars. A lot of people have complaints on bans and those types of things. So join this Discord to stay in touch with the community, and I always put in stuff real time so you don't have to wait for a video to get information that you need about the game. So hope to see you guys there. Okay, so the first pack to show you is the Ideal Land Super Voyage pack. It has 100 art treasure scrolls there, so if you triple coupon, that's 300. So if you're already upgrading your Ideal Land, which I don't know why you would, that has a lot of art treasure scrolls in there. The next one up is the Giant Wisdom Temple, which I don't recommend this pack at all or this event, and it's 90 treasure scrolls, so 65% return. I would just not do it, but at least you know it's there in case you want to do this event. This Historic General, you can't triple coupon this at all, but if you spent the $49.99 plus the $19.99, you get 240 scrolls. I'm still debating if I want to get the $49.99. I think the $19.99 is fine, but if I really truly want to upgrade my art hall to 7, I might bite the bullet and get that one. And you know my favorite, the Civ Cards, has 80 art treasure scrolls, which is better than the event packs, so there you go. The Revelry Carnival, you might want to get this pack because it has some good duty generals in there. So Monkey gave me the heads up on that, but this also has 80, so I will be purchasing some of these packs. And then your normal standard event pack, go to the optional chest and you can choose between this or the ruby boxes, so this offers 72. You definitely don't want to spend on the divination event if you want the art scroll treasures at only 40. And then of course I showed you guys the classical optional chest, and the difference between the yellow and red is that the red contains the newest buff and the other one does not. So I wish they would not have done that. I mean, what's the difference? But it's different. So I will have, hopefully, maybe after this event, when I, spend some packs, hopefully I'll have enough optional chests to get me to level 7 on the remaining of these. Now, in the art hall, I'm sure you guys have seen this, but they added 3 new generals that you can only get in general invitation packs, and unfortunately, that will unlock the new art hall slot. And now that is a debuff, and I will show you later on, but it is a very, very chunky debuff, so that is why this is going to be a very, very expensive slot to unlock. Usually you just need 1 line to unlock 1 slot, and you need 3 lines to unlock the slot, and it requires 3 new generals that you can only get in the general invitation packs. So now looking at the event up here, it looks like none of these have art treasure scrolls, and it does look like you have it here It's only 60 though. And then of course the Sulis event is going to give you the option to get 400 of these scrolls, which is fantastic. Now, it's a gamble of when you're going to get that, but I believe Sulis is $500. So if you're wanting to invest $500, you're going to get all of this stuff in addition to what you choose. I truly think that this is the best bang for your buck, but everybody has a different spend levels, so you might not be able to do a full Sulis, but if you're wanting the art treasure scrolls every other weekend, this is the one to get, because as you see in all the packs, the best that you can get is 300 with a triple coupon. So there's one pack that trumps all packs, and you can only get it one time per year. And there might be a VIP level that you need to have. Let me know in the comments. But it is the birthday pack, and you can get up to 400 of these scrolls. And when you choose those scrolls, you can also double or triple coupon. So you can get up to 1,200 chests, which is a phenomenal deal. And you deserve it. It's your birthday. You should go all out. We should get like 10 of these packs for our birthday. So those are all the spaces and places that you can get these treasure scrolls. And if you're like me and you're on the hunt to get the best pack deal for these scrolls, that was it. I did all the research, and now of course this is only for the packs for this event. I'm sure other events will have better packs, so we can explore it another time, but I hope you guys got some vital information from this video. So the last thing I'm going to do is burn $100 just for you guys, even though I would never ever spend money on this event except for when I needed Trump. And of course Trump came out in like one of those carnival events and I was furious. So I have learned to never buy the generals in this because eventually they're going to be released later. And truthfully, the buffs that we get from the art haul, yes, they are debuffs, and yes, they become really, really chunky the higher up you get. But is it worth this really crappy gambling deal, right? Because you need 3 of the generals, and I just want to show you what it's like to buy a 99 pack and just how randomized it's going to be. So surprisingly, but not surprisingly, this pack does not have a lot of the treasure scrolls in them, only 60. So you would think if they wanted to entice us to buy these stupid general invitations that they would actually make this pack more enticing. So Evony, heads up, why don't you put 200 in there? You know, give people a reason to actually want to buy this, because everybody knows that this is going to be the worst gambling. This is worse than the first edition of Civ cards, all right? This is going to be worse than that because you need 3 of these generals in order to unlock this one slot. Normally, you only need 1 general to unlock the slot, and I'm not sure why they changed up 6 years of doing it the same way and adding 3 for 1 slot. Now, I think it might be because of the buff, and we'll look at that, but let's open a pack. Okay, and before we do that, let's look at the chance details on this, because sometimes they change it around. So 3.57% for everything. So truly, to get 3 of those generals with 3.57% chance, I mean, this is going to be a needle in a haystack. And this is my one time that I'm going to do it. I'm just doing it for you guys because I don't want you actually to buy this, because let's face it, every time we decide to not buy something from Evony or buy into their really stupid spend, they end up making it easy, or they make it, you know, they change it up. That's what's going to happen. I just would not, if I were you, I would not spend or waste money on those general invitations, especially when they come out 3 months later and it's easily able to get in Carnival or one of those events. So yeah, I have learned my lesson to not get burned by Evony on the same type of thing. Obviously, I haven't learned my lesson just about Evony in general, but I know that I will not do that in the future. So no matter what, I will have restraint. I didn't have restraint on the Civ cards, but I will have restraint on this. Okay, so Looking at all of these though, it definitely, I'm very excited to get all of these buffs. You have no idea how long I have waited to really unlock all these. So I'm going to show you the buffs from the very last one that you're unlocking. And of course it's debuffs, so totally understandable of why it's going to be more expensive. And as you scroll down, once you get to the very bottom, you'll see why it is so expensive. It's because you're debuffing 185%. And so this is a huge buff, right? So it's understandable that they're going to make people spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars basically just buying really bad packs to try and get these generals to max out this. But I will have to say that just remember, you can get this amount of debuffs for probably much cheaper with the sub generals and the Parthian gear, which is pretty much free from the Vikings. And then remember how we had the Spirit Beasts, the very new ones, like the new 3, they have those double debuffs and they go up really, really high. So if you wanted to compare where to put your money at, those might be more economical options, not quite totally economical, but they're better than probably trying to do all those packs with the general invitation and then having to actually upgrade up those with all of the chests that you have to buy, because it's truly mostly all pay. It's a mostly pay product. So this is the last pack that I want to show you, which is the sacrificial coin, which you can get 100. So leaving one of the best for last. I don't know if you guys know this, and I have video and I actually recorded this, but there was a major glitch when this sacrificial coronation fountain came out where you could actually max out everything. A video for that in another video because I already have a song for it. So you have to see it to believe it. So I hope you guys got some value out of this. Let me know in the comments if you would rather me split these up into like part 1, 2, or 3, or 4, because I know people's attention spans are just not as long anymore, but I like to just try to get these groupings out together so you're kind of learning everything in the same bundle, right? Like the same little podcast type thing. So that is it. Lastly, please make sure to join my Discord so you guys can get all this info in real time. So I'll see you guys soon. Bye.